Okay, welcome back to the channel. We are cruising along here on Lake Mary Road. It is a brisk 38 degrees, so I'm a little chilled. But we are headed back to try and make it again to the Geographic Center of Arizona. And we're coming at it from a different direction this time. Rather than trying to come in from the southwest, I'm coming in from the northeast. So we're headed down to the Mogollon Rim, and then we're going to drop down into the town of Strawberry, and then pop over to the Fossil Creek area and park the bike there, and then head out on foot. And it's a much longer hike from this direction, so lots of elevation gain. It's going to be tricky, so definitely no guarantee of success. We're just going to have to play it by ear and see how it goes. So let's get to it. Let's get up here to the Mogollon Rim, and then hopefully make our way to Arizona's Geographic Center. I'm excited. Let's get to it. Okay, my friends, let's head out to Deadman Mesa. It's going to be several miles of this, so hopefully it doesn't get too technical. We can sort of just make easy progress down this road. Wow, okay, this is definitely pretty nasty. Wow, okay. Well, we made it up that. It looks like it's a little nicer in here. Oh, maybe not. Wow. What have we gotten ourselves into? Whew. Well, I think it's fair to say that we're probably not going to run into much traffic up here. Geez, this is like really nasty, really nasty. Oh man, are we even still on a road here? I don't even know anymore. Don't even know. You get these little stretches where you think you're home free, but then you're right back in the thick of it. Here we go. And it just can't figure out what it wants to do. Yikes. Not sure I'm going to be able to get back up this, but we're going to certainly try. Oh man. I really hope this doesn't come back to bite me in the ass. Way too much. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to find a place where I can park, and then we're going to hoof it, because I didn't come this far to just give up. All right, well, we've had our first drop. She's been officially christened. We got a little ding on the crash guard there. Chewed up the hand guard pretty good and offset this a little bit. So we will have to evaluate when we get home and see any other damage. But it looks like that took all of the force of the fall. And it was a pretty light drop, but it was on heavy rocks. Not a good place to drop a bike, but that's what we get them for, right? So let's get hiking. Verde River Valley, I mean, right down there is the river. So we still got about 2 miles or so to get out to the end of this little mesa, and then we drop down. So we're getting pretty close to the spot
that I was hoping to get the motorcycle to. I've gone 2.2 miles now. It's a little bit spooky up here, I'll be honest. All the trees are dead and kind of gnarled, and very quiet, no birds. Maybe that's why it's called Deadman Mesa. It's just like, once you go out, you never return. Oh man. Well, if you're watching this video, then I did in fact return. So, all good. Reached a point that I was sort of worried might happen, and that is, we are on the trail, according to the map, but the trail has just sort of withered away. Every time I tried to look on Google Maps to see the trail, I could never find it. So I think it's just gonna be over country bushwhacking at this point. Like you can see, I'm on the trail right now. Nothing. So a little bit frustrating, I suppose. I can see the trail down there. So the trail comes back and I can see it working its way down the ridgeline. We need to drop down. I can see the river down there. We then need to go up and over that spine, and then the center is halfway up that hillside over there. So we are several miles away still, and we are at 5.5 miles already. So this is going to be a race against the clock. I was hoping it wouldn't be, but that's what it's gonna be. But we're gonna keep pushing. So this trail might be on some maps, but boy, it is wildly overgrown. Look at that. Holy moly. That is quite the drop. We're gonna stay away from that edge. My goodness. Ah, here we go. Yeah, see, like, it's a trail, but man, it has not been used very much at all. It is wildly grown in. So I'm just happy to be back on something that resembles a trail. We've got big wall rock across the way. The river is just right down there, so I'm almost down to the river. However, I'm having a moment, and it's not just because I'm on a sugar low. I am 6.5 miles in, and I've just descended some wildly rugged terrain that's going to be really slow getting back up. Like, I'm still moving pretty well on the way down, but climbing this is going to take an enormous amount of time. It is creeping up on 2 p.m., 1:30, and I've got probably about 4 miles to go. 4 difficult miles. I think you see where I'm getting at here. Could I make it to the point? Absolutely. I feel great. My legs are fine. I'm getting a little bit scratched up. I mean, look at my leg. It's all bleeding and cut up from briars. But I could absolutely make it. I mean, honestly, like, most of the hard stuff is done. Damn, I was really hoping to get there today, but that road coming in just was too messy and it cost me too much time. So that's the situation. I think I'm gonna bail. I'm gonna abort again. And I'm gonna have to think long and hard about how I wanna do this, whether it actually does make sense to go in from the other side, because I can get so much closer, and then the hike in is just, you know, only like 3 miles or something, as opposed to this side, which is quicker to get to, but an enormous hike out and back to get to the point. So yeah, boy, it's tough. It is tough to get to this spot. There's no easy way. There's no easy way to get there. So anyway, that's the situation. I'm gonna drink some water, eat something, and then start making my way back. I've got 6.5 miles to go, and a huge chunk of it right now is uphill. So it's gonna be It's gonna be several hours before we get back to the bike. Several hours. All right, so what's cool about this viewpoint right here is you've got the river down here to the right, and if you look out in the distance, you've got this sort of pinnacle over here, and that's Verde Butte. If you follow that ridge line down and then go up the other side to that sort of rounded hill, the Geographic Center is right in that gully drainage that's facing us. So we can see the center from right here. Just a little bit too far away to get to practically today, but it's right there. So we made it within view. Okay, so the bad news is we're climbing again. We've got a few hundred feet still here to climb. But the good news is we are less than a mile from the bike now. We're about 0.6, so 1 kilometer. Of course, I still got to get out of here, get over all this rough terrain on the bike and not drop it again. But yeah, let's get home. Okay, so let's see if we can get out of here. Whew. Okay, first major obstacle cleared. Yeah, this was a tough road, man. Tough road to be doing when you're tired too. Oh, oof, what to do here? I think we're gonna go up this side. Yep. Ooh. That's a big drop, my friends. Ooh. All right. Wow, we still got a little bit here. Oh, okay. This is nuts, man. I can't believe I came up this. We made it. We made it. Wow. Hardcore, man. Hardcore. The bike handled it well. It was just the one drop. It started to tip. I turned the wheel too fast, and then she fell over. I just couldn't keep her up. And there's the pavement. Excellent. Oh, hallelujah. We've made it. Okay, well, I made it home safe and sound. I'm nice and warm. After enduring a 50-plus mile freezing cold ride down Lake Mary Road in the dark. Oh, I was really trying to avoid that. It's so unpleasant. But I'm good now, and I thought I would do a little post-mortem on the day. So as you saw, I did not make it to the Geographic Center again. And what I'm learning is that it's just really hard to get to this point, and it's not something you can do in a single day. I need some time to think about what I'm going to do next. And so for now, I think I'm going to pause this project until I get a really solid plan of how I'm going to try and attack this quirky geographic oddity. But on the day, you know, I think the biggest thing that I had to contend with today was just time. And the trail, the road down this Deadman Mesa was
wildly technical, way more technical than I was expecting. Full on class 5, you know, steep, loose boulders and rocks. I mean, I was dropping down steps and it was crazy. And every time I went down something steep, I was like, am I going to be able to get back up out of this thing? You know, I was having anxiety attacks. So I eventually got to a point where I was like, I need to just pull over and hike from here. And so I did that, and it ended up adding about 3 miles to my original hike just because I parked so far back. And the trail was a trail for a couple of miles, and then it just disappeared. It just stopped existing. And so it still showed up on the map, but there was no functional trail. It was just open land, open route finding, and it was treacherous. It was overgrown, briars, all sorts of burrs and seeds getting in my socks all the time. There were places where there was like rubble and rocks underneath, and so I'd step on a rock and it would wobble, and I had to go down this really steep like ridge into this like drainage, and I kept like stepping on wobbly rocks, and I remember thinking, if I roll an ankle here, or if I like take a digger, no one's coming to help me. I am screwed, full on screwed. So I got to a point about 1:30 where I sat down on a rock and I could see the Geographic Center. It was clear as day. I could see the 2 ridges over, and I could see it about 3 miles away. I was like, there it is. But I knew if I were to actually go to it and then turn around and hike all the way back up, right? Because the entire hike there is basically downhill. I was not going to get back to the bike until well after dark. I didn't have adequate lighting. I was getting nervous about the footing. And I did the math, and I said, I want to get back to the bike in the daylight. And even with turning around 3 miles short, I still had to ride 50 plus miles in the dark, in the freezing cold. So yeah, it was an interesting day. And I'm just very glad to be home and to sort of reflect on the day. And you know, I was very pleased with the way the bike handled. It was fun going up all that technical stuff. I didn't have any like moving wipeouts. I just had the one sort of tip over spill. The fact that I banged out 13 miles with 4,000 feet of elevation gain today was pretty stupid. So anyway, that's 4 extra minutes. I'm sorry. I just wanted to kind of talk about what happened. And thank you again for watching. Take care. Be safe. See you in the next video. Bye, guys.
Do not want to have a wipeout here because ain't nobody coming to help.